as much as I knew that there had been an attack on the Trade Center, and you know, whatever facts we had, you know, just tried to share with the guys. You know, and I remember in our team meeting that one or two of the players were a little emotional. But mostly I remember everybody feeling kind of angry, kind of shaken. It was a difficult day.
We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan.
Apparently a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York. 8:52. We have limited information at this point.
I do remember everybody, it was 100%. Everybody wanted to go ahead and have practice, and we did that. We had a normal week of practice, and you know, it's kind of the idea, the feeling that we weren't going to let these guys, we weren't going to let these people affect us any more than they already had.
I remember that day vividly, going to practice. I was actually skipping class that day, and I was watching this show used to come on called True Hollywood Stories, and it got interrupted, and I saw a plane go into a building, and I thought it was like a movie or something. And then I saw another one, and I was just in disbelief. Didn't know how to react at the time. I was young and a little confused, but it was definitely a disheartening time in our history.
Well, actually, I was playing in Saskatchewan for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and it was probably around, I want to say, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and my roommate, normally he's real quiet. Well, he's on the phone, he's got the TV blaring, and I'm like, what is going on? It's our day off, you know, we just got done playing. Why is he so loud? And then I kind of woke up and came to, and, you know, that's when he was talking to his family, because he's from the East Coast, and about the first tower being hit and all that. So it was real shocking, as you know, waking up that early to find out about the news.
I was actually headed to our aviation class in high school. I was a senior in high school at the time, and just heard a bunch of my friends talking about there was a bomb, we're on lockdown, and all of a sudden we had to get rushed into our class, into our aviation class, and sit down, and we had no idea what was going on. We thought maybe there was a bombing in the school, and that was just kind of the rumors that were going around, and they popped the TVs on, and we started watching what happened in New York City. And you know, I think from what I remember throughout that day, it was like, you know, the U.S. has been attacked, and we kind of felt that this is something that has never happened to us before, and how can this happen to us? And I think it really, after we kind of took it in, I think it helped us bond. That week for us in high school, it was our homecoming too, so they canceled everything, and I don't remember even going to classes the rest of the week, but we had football practice. That was one of the things that kind of helped keep our minds off of it. And one of the things throughout practice, I just remember there was no planes in the sky. You know, it was, and I grew up outside of Chicago, so there's always air traffic, and it's pretty loud, and it was very eerie. But I felt that week when we played our game, I thought it brought the community together, and you know, something such as tragic as that, I think it really brought us together.
One thing that I do remember that was kind of speaks to how resilient these young men are, how creative they are. One of our players, and I can't remember his name, but one of our players raised his hand, said, "Coach, I've got an idea." The family had a printing business, and they printed up helmet stickers with the American flag. And so from within just a few hours, one of our players came up with that idea. And I remember everybody was anxious to get those stickers on their helmets. And we got to game day on Saturday, and Southwest Oklahoma, immediately their coach commented about those stickers. We were able to provide the Southwest Oklahoma team with some stickers, So they had stickers as well moving forward. And so I thought that was a nice touch. And I really think we were one of the early programs to do something like that. And it was the idea of one of our players.
In our lifetime, we were all, I guess, 18 to 22. None of us had seen nothing like that. We grew up hearing stories about Vietnam and wars and stuff like that, but nothing had ever happened, on U.S. territory to that extent. And, I think we were just in shock and disbelief. And it definitely made you view things a little bit different, and it made you more conscious of what was going on in the world, because it was a reality that, anything's possible. We always took for granted that like something like that would never happen in America, but it did. But, I was proud of, how a lot of people responded during that time. I just remember a lot of people coming together, and I had never seen anything like that.
I had a couple friends that were actually in Washington. One of them was supposed to be at the Pentagon that day. He didn't go in, luckily. Unfortunately for the other people that we lost, and couldn't get a hold of no one in that area for about 2 or 3 days. So, the worrying and the scaredness really set in.
I think it was kind of panic around pretty much in every city, every town, because we weren't sure. You heard the other flight that was going on, by the Pentagon, and so you're kind of nervous and scared. And are we safe at home? Is there another flight that's going to be hijacked? And they sent us home after a few hours of being locked down in the school. And again, I don't remember even having class the next few days. And it's kind of just that very eerie feeling again. There was no flights allowed, no commercial flights during the week, but you hear these fighter jets going around that week too, and just very, very surreal feeling, and pretty scary.
I do remember thinking our team was a little more focused, a little more thankful for all of the blessings we had. If I remember right, we went on and had a really good season, and we had gotten off to a rough start. And so, but I remember being really proud of that team. And if my recollection is correct, we beat Southwest Oklahoma 21-20, and we really struggled to win that game. And we were struggling right then, trying to kind of figure out what was going to be our best path, as a team. In the previous week against Sam Houston, we lost our starting tailback, Chavis McCollister. He broke his collarbone, and so we were kind of dealing with that as well. We beat them 21-20, and we had a big interception, I know, late in the game. But one of the things I remember, right before the halftime, we had a running back. Olin Coleman made a long run and made it out of bounds into field goal territory with 1 second left, and we kicked the field goal to gain a 1-point lead, I think, right before the half, and that proved to be enough of a lead to end up and able to get the win.
I remember a lot of things going on celebrating first responders, and that was special. It made you have a different level of appreciation for people that service people in this country, and just how people pulled together and helped people that was in need and people that were struggling to deal with the situation. It made you proud to be an American. It really did. It really did. And that's probably my, again, I don't remember the game that much, but I remember everything leading up to the game, and just, how powerful it felt, people coming together. That was profound in my life.
So they ended up postponing it until I want to say Monday or Tuesday of the following week. And since there were no planes, we had to bus. So we bussed halfway, practiced, and then we ended up getting to Calgary, and we ended up playing like that Monday or Tuesday of the following week.
It was our homecoming game, and I know it was a really tight game. I think it came down to the wire. We ended up losing, but just the only thing I really remember from that is just how close we came together, and kind of felt like what can we do to help defend our country more than anything else, you know?
Probably still a little bit angry, but you know, and still very thankful to be an American. You know, I know it was an event that will be forever. I know that. So many people were hurt, so many people died, so many families affected. Just, you know, a lot of tough times, a lot of sadness.
I was looking at our schedule, just trying to see, you know, what games we had, and I saw that we had a game on September 11th, and the first thing that came to my mind was, I was like, man, this is 2021. That was 20 years ago. So I instantly remembered, you know, it's 20 years since September 11th, 2001. So, and I think it's something that's, you know, profound in American history. Obviously, it's a disheartening time, but, you know, just, again, something that I learned from Coach Snyder and I learned from my father is, you know, you try to make the best of, you know, any situations, even the darkest of times. And, you know, the things I try to remember is America coming together during that time and how important it is in times of dark times, times of struggle, how important it is for, you know, people to come together. And I think that's something that's important even today with, you know, with everything we're dealing with COVID-19, that, you know, Americans just come together and we try to be there for each other. And, you know, in a small sample size on the football field, we try to do our part to be there for each other and help these young men understand the importance of helping a fellow citizen out, you know, somebody that's in need. Those are the most profound things about, you know, 2001, September 11th. And I really keep sticking to my mind what Coach Snyder always talked about, not letting the enemy get the best of us. And so that's why I choose to remember how people came together during that time.
Every 9/11 comes, I think about all those people, the first responders, the victims, the family members of all the ones that have lost, and wonder how life would have changed for them if they hadn't lost a mother, a father, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, you know, and those things. So make sure to always, each year, to, you know, pay praise to those people that ended up being in the tragedy of 9/11, and just praying for their families and hope they have comfort someday.
It still hits home. You still feel that, you know, obviously a lot of things have happened since then, a lot of different protocols, and our world has changed. And it really just opened our eyes in my generation that anything can happen and you got to be ready for it, you know, in this world can be an evil place. But at the same time, you know, we kind of live your life controlling what you can control and doing the right things. And when you see something that you don't think is right that's going on, that you say something to somebody and speak up. And you know, I still to this day, you go on an airplane and you kind of feel that you kind of keep an eye out for any kind of shady, you know, suspect activity or anything like that, even to this day. So it definitely has changed. I know it's changed my life and it's changed a lot of people's lives.